I think the top three are number one, probably the clinical trial regulation. That's actually going to go into effect on May 28th of this year, and it's actually going to have a direct impact on all of the expiry dating that we've actually been working with clinical supplies for quite some time. There for a while, we were actually trying to remove expiry dates, and now, unfortunately, we are going to have to go ahead and put them back on all the way down to the primary package. That's going to provide us with a tremendous challenge moving forward, and for that very reason, it's going to have a huge impact in terms of the way we package, the actual planning that we have to do, and even possibly some delays that we might have to face and work around. The other one, of course, based on that is going to be on demand. The concept of on-demand shipping and distribution, as well as just-in-time labeling and distribution, is something that we really have to step up with, which means that we're going to have to work much more closely with our friends in quality, our QPs, everybody else that is really working hard to go ahead and make sure that the industry works out well. So I think from that perspective, that's one of the other challenges. And of course, the last challenge, typically, just as it always is going to be temperature-controlled packaging and distribution. Now we have to really step up our game. I mean, with regards to not just the temperature, but now we have to worry about vibration. We have to worry about ultimately tracking and the ability to trace and get instantaneous data and information exchange all over the world. Those would probably be our three top challenges. The biggest challenges that we have in our industry still remain, fascinatingly enough, trying to break silos down between our individual groups and departments within our organizations. I am consistently impressed with the fact that we have got to better understand each other, better understand the way we think, and really collaborate and communicate much better than what we have in the past. And what I would think would be a true exponential growth in that area is actually not the case. I think we're really only seeing incremental changes, and from my perspective, that's a huge opportunity for the industry to really work better together and collaborate. And then when we're talking about collaboration, the other piece, of course, is that a lot of the industry knowledge is going out to the vendors, which means that we really have to, do a much better job at partnering with the vendors, really using them as an extension of ourselves, from a sponsor company perspective, and from a vendor perspective, it means really being there to go ahead and really help the sponsor companies, especially trying to avoid mistakes that they make, but sometimes are a little worried about actually admitting to. So in that situation, it's all about dealing with sometimes the insecurity of some of those folks and working around it. For me, the best trends, the most exciting ones, is everything to do with electronics and the internet, and everything to do with the new apps that are coming out, and near field communications. Just-in-time labeling and on demand is actually going to be aided tremendously with the use of all of these wonderful applications and software and hardware, near field communications and everything else. So that to me is really exciting. I mean, right here at the conference, we're actually getting a demonstration of e-labeling, and that, I think, is also just the tip of the iceberg with regards to all the amazing things that can be done based on technology moving forward for clinical supplies. Probably the sharing of knowledge and information and technology that different companies are coming up with. The ability to go ahead and collaborate on that and even standardize a lot of it is definitely the way to go. What's interesting is we see serialization becoming an absolute drive in the commercial world, but we don't have anything like that in clinical supplies because we're all so different and disparate. And that, for me, would be a huge opportunity, and I'd love to be able to see that change in 2016. I think that conferences like this are absolutely essential. This is where information gets transferred. This is where knowledge is shared, and this is where successes and failures are shared. And really, what's amazing is we as a species learn more from our failures than our successes. So anytime I get the chance to talk to somebody that's made a mistake so I can avoid that mistake, that is a wonderful venue. And that's why conferences like this are so absolutely essential for our industry. The one thing is I love this conference because it gives me the chance to get together with my colleagues in Europe and catch back up again and hear how they're doing. And it's always great because it's the beginning of the year, so it starts the year off with a bang.